Welcome to this LitFilmFest showcase. This is our international school showcase. So we've got together many of the schools that we've worked with over the last 2 years, and we're very pleased to have been able to work with COBIS as well, COBIS schools, to create a competition that we ran last year. Many of the schools that we're talking to now are those who have been involved in different projects as part of that competition. I'm here with Tim.
Hi everyone.
Tim, tell us a little bit about what we've had going on with international schools.
Yeah, well, I think it's been a real joy to see Let's Go Global, actually, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. And have schools across the world using our projects and creating amazing films that they can share with us on a real variety of topics. Because we're a UK-based company, and we're UK teachers, all of us at LitFilmFest, and so we're used to British education, but in the UK. So to see British education being taught in such creative ways around the globe, what there isn't a better way to celebrate that than this showcase that we've put together now.
It's really good, isn't it, with digital projects and with sort of creating media, it becomes very easy to share things like we are now, and I think it's nice to see that those schools that have done this work, many of them have held assemblies and LitFilmFest events where they've been able to invite their families and their communities in and to share their films and their projects, to share their literacy development with those communities, and
even people who aren't close by as well. So yeah, if parents do live a long way away, it's a really quick and easy way to share content, not just on literacy development, but also their children are becoming global citizens, talking about big issues that matter to the world.
It's not just about kind of the literacy, it's about developing contacts with other countries and working with schools in other countries, in the same competition.
And to step up and speak as leaders as well, to be an authority after reading a lot of the information that we put and a lot of links that we include in the projects. People stand up and say, this is what I think about this issue, or this is how we should celebrate this.
So a massive thanks to YouTube Kids for supporting the projects this year and for featuring all of these videos, so many of them on their app, and many of the videos couldn't have even happened without their help. So remember, you can go and watch your videos safely on the YouTube Kids app.
And also thanks to Adobe for their support, as many of you in the classroom have used apps such as Adobe Spark or Page to create awesome media, all while learning through the LitFilmFest projects. Should we start? Should we get going?
Yeah, let's jump in.
So first, I'm joined with St. George's in Luxembourg. Hello, both of you.
Hello, guys.
How you doing? Do you want to introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about what you've done with LitFilmFest in the past?
I'll go first, Daniel, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've worked with LitFilmFest since, for me, 2016 Christmas time, and numerous times we've used your planning just to bring a bit more technology into the teaching of literacy, making our own short movies. It helped a lot with some poetry work that we've done using the Michael Rosen resource. And the LitFilmFest itself, when you came into school, I think we all sort of got involved and felt the benefit of how to bring in the iPads and the technology, editing movies. But the main outcome was that the literacy levels were improving in a greater way than they would be if we were just teaching in a more traditional way in the classroom.
Yeah. How about yourself, Dan?
Oh, yeah. So I first used the LitFilmFest resources about 2 years ago when I started at St. George's, and I was in year 4. And we were doing the topic of government, I believe. Then through the LitFilmFest resources, we were able to really bring the topic to life by reenacting meetings and debates within Parliament. And essentially that was put into the LitFilmFest festival, our very first one actually. And it was just a fantastic way to really combine ICT and English and writing together. The children really enjoyed it, and so did the teachers.
So you both took part in the People Parliament project, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you find that children wanted to write about something that empowered them politically? Was that something they had a real engagement with in your classroom?
For the People Parliament, yeah, I think it was great. We've done some democracy topic for a few years, and the People Parliament, I did feel like a huge increase in level of engagement, and the empowerment it sort of brings out of the children.
Yeah, I think that the resource was brilliant in also enabling the children to see how things work in Parliament behind the scenes. So having those interesting debates and topics, and like David said, giving them believe in something that's important to them that they can actually discuss, and seeing the formalities behind it.
And I think it was, in the festival itself, as you've already talked about, this forum that we put together, LitFilmFest and St. George's come together to share the content that we made together in your classrooms. We always have the idea that it gives the children a real voice, and
yes.
We see the importance of that in like Black Lives Matter at the minute, don't we? With this, wanting to be heard and weighing up the facts. And I think it's such a joy to celebrate what you have both achieved in your classrooms, and all the other teachers of St. George, of giving children a voice through measured arguments and discussions. So yeah, I think you've done such a good job, and we're going to play the videos now. Let's hit it.
Great.
Okay.
Good morning and welcome to STG News.
Breaking news! On Tuesday, 9th of January, 4 Diff Lounge held a vote in order to make learning more fun and exciting. We'll now go to our reporters that have more on the matter.
Thank you. When I asked a member of the primary school about their views on the trip, they stated more trips equals more learning.
More trips equals more learning. When interviewed, Dr. Burka explained that he was perfectly fine with going on more trips.
I'm perfectly fine with going on more trips.
So it turns out we have a real crisis on our hands here. We shall try to find out more on the issue. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, reporters. That is very insightful.
We have just got hold of some vital information. We'll now be going to Parliament, where we have our reporters on scene to question Lord Matteo.
Thank you, Joa. Why aren't the students going on more trips?
It would be fantastic to go on more trips all the time, but the school doesn't have enough money to go on trips all the time, and it would mean a lot more planning for the teachers.
Do you think it's important to learn from experts?
I believe so. Whenever I go to museums, I always find that I'm always asking questions from the experts to learn as much information as possible.
One question. Yes, of course. Thank you for your time, Lord Matteo. And it's much appreciated. Back to you in the studio.
7, 8, 9. Thank you, Anna Maria.
That was an interesting insight to Lord Matteo.
There were some tricky questions with some intriguing answers. Goodness gracious! News just in. We will now go live to Parliament, where the MPs of St. George are making their speeches. Mr. Speaker, I'm a member of HAM, and to my concern, St. George's almost has no trips. It's an outrage and disappointment that classes are missing out on valuable learning. Do we not want to give St. George's a great education?
Without a doubt, students need more education. It will greatly help them. My noble friends, the students only have residential trips once a year. And during those residential trips, they learn education, independence, and a chance of making new friends.
speaker, I would like to share a very big issue. This issue will not help only one school, it will help thousands of schools. The problem is the school has less education and less trips. Trips can make you learn thousands of things, like working in teams or knowing how to live without your mom and dad. Imagine if you were locked in a room and you're not allowed to get out. How will you feel? If sad, well, we don't feel sad for trips. We feel heartbroken for trips. Hear, 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 hear. A very convincing speech. It certainly makes me believe there should be more trips. What do you think? Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, we've just received word that the bill for trips has been passed. Let's go to Trust reporter Ileana, who is live on the scene. Thank you, Leon. As you can see, there are dramatic and exciting scenes happening here. Addie and Tiswat are about to give the personal statement. Good afternoon. We are delighted that you have come. We have been campaigning for the last few weeks, and we are pleased to announce that the bill for more exciting learning has now passed. Is there anyone you'd like to thank? We would like to thank Lord Austri, who has gently helped us for all his effort in this campaign. What did you learn from this campaign? During this campaign, we have learned to always go for what we believe in, and that we all have a voice to make a change. Thank you for all your support. It has certainly been an eventful day at St. George's. Not often do you get a bill that is passed in just one day, so that had to be pretty important. Thank you for tuning in from all of us here at STG News. Goodbye and good day. That was a great show. Yeah. And I was very well with that gelatin.
I'm also joined with Claire, the head of St. George's. Hi Claire, thanks for joining us.
Hi, nice to be here.
Well, we're honoured to showcase St. George's in our international showcase. Would you like to tell us a bit about what we have achieved together in the past?
We've done huge amounts of work together. I mean, whilst we were still able to travel across the world, it was really nice to have you over, all of you as a team, and I think we've had many of you over a span of time, working with our children right across the schools. So I think we started by training staff and children to work with film and literacy and looking at various programs and making their films, which had a great impact straight away. So already, I think after your first visit, we saw homework happening from the children and them bringing in videos they've made at home and actually using the same programs. And even in the early years, our staff were beginning to use the same techniques. And then I think you came back 2 or 3 times and we went for a film fest, which focused everybody, and the whole school then created their films. We worked together on editing and had a final mega festival, which was...
We'll have to call it that, the Mega Lit Film Festival.
A mega festival, yeah. It was a really wonderful event for us, well attended, and it showcased their work. So that was fabulous.
Filmmaking doesn't just stop at these projects, does it? You'd hope it goes into their tool set that they can always draw from, even all the way up to adulthood, to understand how to deliver messages and edit things together to be succinct and engaging as well.
Definitely. I mean, even we used for our platform on lockdown, we used Seesaw, which has a video function, and the children fell into it automatically. The staff were a bit more shy, so you can feedback, you give feedback, and many of us just, typed a response, but the children immediately went for the voice response or the film response.
Just back to the film festival as well, we covered quite an array of topics, from ancient myths and legends to superhero stories to climate change topics as well, and
healthy cooking as well.
Healthy cooking as well. What do you think it says about St. George's to give your children such a wide variety of projects that are celebrated, in digital media?
I think it has to be. I think if you're, I think it's good to be topical. It's good to get them debating and thinking. And again, film is a great avenue for that. So if you're looking at different areas, if we're looking at our curriculum across the school, we want them to have that knowledge base of lots of different areas. And because it was a film festival and each year group had a different area, then they educated each other and they were able to share their films, which of course we still have and are still on websites and still available. So they themselves taught each other how to respond and argue and fight for their different political, if you like, or environmental, whatever it was, the different topics. Each of them had their own argument which they prepared, and we presented different sides as well. They weren't just one-sided.
Claire, thank you very much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
We are going to watch a film that's come all the way from Lagos in Nigeria. So we have some people from Corona School in Lagos who talked to us about the making of this film. You did the Lioness Lunch Challenge with us last year, didn't you?
Hello everyone, I'm Chinyelu Udemezwe.
Very nice to have you on with us, and we've got two
you.
students. We've got Adizua.
Yes. Hello.
And we have Emeka.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Thank you for both being here to talk to us about how you made this spectacular film, which you entered as part of our competition, didn't you, last year? Perhaps you could give us a little bit of an overview about what made this project important, what made it special, memorable in your teaching.
The project was it was a very challenging project for us, because I think that was our first time of being involved in the LitFilmFest project, and it was a very important project for us. It wasn't so easy, but we enjoyed doing it.
Good. I think sometimes things that you put in more effort to them, they end up being more memorable and more important, don't they? What was it like for you children going through that project for the first time, sort of being involved with the scripting and editing and then filming? How was that different from normal English lessons or just normal writing?
I think what's special about this process is that we write down ideas and see it play out magnificently on the screen. It is extraordinary to see a script played out wonderfully. Thank you.
Thank you. That's lovely. And Emeka, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
Yes, sir. When I write, words flow. Another thing that's special about writing is the urge to write, which leads to the improvement of vocabulary and writing skills. Filming was special because we were able to bring what we wrote to life. To me, it is also special that we educated people on a healthy lifestyle through our communication, collaboration, and confidence in ourselves.
Some really important points there about bringing that writing to life. I think
exactly.
Yeah, you both kind of picked up on that when we write, it's not just about the writing staying on the page and just being there. We write for a reason, don't we? We have to put that writing into purpose. We have to communicate something. And in this project, you clearly communicated the need for healthy lifestyles, healthy diets. Just a final question before we watch this film then, for the children. What's the most memorable thing that you can remember about filming in the classroom? Is there something that sticks in your memory about that process? What do you remember?
What I remember about creating the film is that, I'm not going to lie, it was definitely exhausting, but in the end, I was extremely proud to see that what we worked hard on could play out that magnificently. I was very, very excited.
Oh, and it shows so much. Thank you, both of you. It shows so much in your film, the enthusiasm and the hard work that you and the teachers have put into making this. And so we're going to sit back now and we're going to watch the Lioness Lunch Challenge from Corona School in Ikoyi, Nigeria. Thank you ever so much for joining us. We'll see you again soon.
Bye.
keep losing. Do you think it has to do with our diet? Our diet? Yeah, that might be the reason. I have an idea.
What's the idea?
Let's accept the Lioness Lunch Challenge.
Yay!
Welcome to LitFilm's first Lioness Lunch Challenge.
My name's Abishi Banerjee.
And my name is Susan Gucci. And we've
Officially accepted the Lioness Lunch Challenge.
Yes!
Hello friends, my name is Ferwado Motai and with me is we are going to make a really healthy, mouth-watering and scrumptious meal.
To make a cheesy mixed vegetable sandwich, you need some slices of whole wheat bread, onions, mayonnaise, boiled and mashed potatoes, cheese, tomatoes, lettuce, diced hot dog, and salt to taste. To make a cheesy mixed vegetable sandwich, first of all, you need to wash your hands. Which I have done. I can't imagine having my cheesy mixed vegetable sandwich without my yummy cheese. You take a slice of your whole wheat bread and apply evenly on your Then you apply your lettuce on your whole wheat bread. Add your chopped and mashed potatoes in a bowl. Add your chopped onions, the diced tomatoes, add a little mayonnaise, stir all your ingredients and spread evenly on your whole wheat bread. There you have it, a cheesy mixed vegetable sandwich. Yum. Let's see what my friends have to say about this yummy sandwich.
This sandwich looks good. Delicious. Hello everyone, my name is Munachi Semegara and with me is Bethany Akinale. To go along with our cheesy mixed vegetable sandwich is a mango smoothie. For this, you will need peeled mangoes, fresh bananas, ice cubes, and fresh orange juice. Before we begin to make our smoothie, we wash our hands like I have already done. Firstly, add your mangoes into your blender. Add about 4 fresh bananas, a cup of orange juice, and lastly, your ice cubes. Tasty! What a healthy and delicious smoothie. With less fat and high percentage of calorie and fiber, this super sumptuously mango smoothie will keep you refreshed and full of vitality you will need to take on your sporting activity.
Okay, so we now have online with us a huge amount of people from the British School of Brussels. We have the teacher Rebecca, and thank you ever so much for bringing your class on to talk to us today about their film. Hello everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you ever so much for giving us some time this afternoon to talk about your experience doing this LitFilmFest project and creating this film that you've made. Who's going to explain to us what your video was about?
Me.
Go on then, Johannes.
Our video was about persuading people to ditch bottled water and start drinking tap water so there could be less pollution in the world.
Right, okay. So it was part of the Team Tap video, wasn't it? The Team Tap project. So it's about persuading people not to use bottled water because it's going to have a bad effect on the environment. Why do you think learning about the environment is important, Rebecca, for your class?
Yeah, I think this is a really, really important issue for children to learn as they're coming up through school and growing up. They've got a right to know the facts. They're the next generation. It's their world, in fact. And if they're aware of the changes that can make a difference, they'll push for change. And when it's their turn to make the decisions, and then they'll be well equipped to support a cleaner, healthier environment for themselves and also for future generations.
And did this project have that impact on the class?
Yeah, it definitely did. The children went home and they told their parents about all the research that they've been doing and all the facts, and they used their persuasive language to get their parents to reduce the amount of plastic that they used at home. And the fact that children were able to give specific facts and figures and really talk about their research really helped to convince their mums and dads. So yeah, it did definitely have a good impact.
Oh, that's really good. Perhaps someone can tell me what kind of impact that you would want to have on people after they've watched this video. What do you hope is going to happen?
I hope people to realize how dangerous plastic bottles are to sea animals and start thinking about them and caring about them by starting to use tap water.
Thanks, Yuri. Yeah, that's really important.
I hope people now are aware of what happens to plastic bottles and now use tap water.
Yeah, thanks, Cecilia. Yeah, and I think that's very, very clear in your video that that comes across. That's the key message, isn't it? It's a really simple way of being able to stop using so much plastic. What did you use to sort of create this film then? And what was your favourite part of doing so?
We used many different props such as raincoats and many different objects such as green screen for the background and iPad for the filming. My favorite part was when we got to use the green screen.
Yeah. So you said your favorite part there, using the green screen. What about which part of the film is really going to stand out to the audience, do you think?
I think what really stood out was how much time it took for plastic to biodegrade.
And I think another part that really stood out was the fact that less than 50% of the bottles are actually recycled. So yes, that really made me think.
Yeah, it's clear, Rebecca, the impact that making this film and doing all that research has had on the children. Is there anything else that you want to add to that?
It was a really ambitious project, and not least because these children all have English as an additional language. So it had a really big impact on both their learning and on their knowledge of the environment, so it had sort of dual purpose, which was great. They eagerly rose to the challenge, which was a really good thing, and I watched them develop throughout the activities. They were exploring new vocabulary, researching, following structures for non-chronological reports, writing scripts, scenery, everything, and then of course acting and producing their film. So it covered a huge range of language skills, and they were able to become more confident in their speaking, their listening, their reading and their writing, in fact. And also it was great that they were part of a team. It was a big team effort.
Yeah, and so has doing this project changed how you approach teaching English then?
Yeah, I mean, I think it showed to me what a group of children like this can do, what they're capable of when they're really focused on a challenge, if you like. It was great. We all learnt new things along the way as well. And it's an alternative approach. It's another approach. I like to use lots of creative things in teaching, because I think it's really important. And this is a lovely creative approach which has an end goal which they were all working towards. So they develop their skills along the way in that sense. So yes, I think it's a really great addition to the teaching of English.
So before we go and watch the film then, to finish off, this is for the pupils. What is special about writing and then filming that writing?
It's about putting the words into action and then the whole script into action.
Okay, yeah, so it's about taking something that's on the page and turning it into something real, isn't it? Putting it into action. Because quite often writing can just stay on the page, but it becomes a lot more powerful when we bring it out into the real world.
Yeah.
And what was your, what did you think when you first saw your film, when it was finished?
At first, I was really nervous, but when I saw it, I was also very proud of myself.
I was proud and excited as I wanted to show my family and friends.
Yeah.
So I felt kind of weird to see myself in front of the green screen and all the props. So
I felt a bit strange to see the video, but I was also excited to see what I have done.
Yeah, so lots of fantastic responses. I think there's a balance, isn't there, always when you've put a lot of work into something, you think, oh, you know, how's this going to turn out? Is it going to be good enough? Am I going to look a bit weird on the screen doing all this acting, or, you know, standing in front of a green screen? But yeah, I think it will show now as we watch this together just how good the video is and how much all that work that you did has created something that's really special and a really powerful message too. Did you see any changes in your class's attitude to literacy, Rebecca, through this project?
I think it brought quite a lot of excitement and anticipation and interest. And I think activities like this, with shared responsibilities and successes, give a real sense of ownership and pride. And a year on, these children still remember and are very excited about revisiting and celebrating their achievements. So it gives a clear indication here as to the impact this project had on their learning.
Great, thank you ever so much. And thank you everyone for giving us some time this morning. We're going to watch the video now, and so I'll say goodbye to you all. If you'd all like to give me a wave.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
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 Welcome to BSP News. Today we are discussing which is better, tap water or bottled water. Over to Cecilia and Alessandro at the bottle factory.
Hello everyone, today I'm here in the factory with an environmentalist called Alessandro, and we will be talking about plastic bottles.
Yes, in these days plastic bottles are causing a problem. Every second 16,000 of plastic bottles are produced all over the world.
Look at that fish! If they are not disposed of thoughtfully, they end up as pollution, contaminating the natural habitat of many different species. Thinking it's food, creatures eat the plastic waste and become ill or even die.
Thank you to Cecilia and Alessandro. Now over to Johannes and Corey at the beach.
Hello, my name is Johannes and I'm from the BSP News. Today we're going to talk about plastic waste. Look at all the plastic waste here in the beach. Why did this happen? Today, Corey, who is a scientist, is going to talk about plastic waste. Hello, Corey. Look all around. This is a problem. Why do you think this happened?
I am very confused about it. This is very bad.
Is bottled water healthier than tap water?
Some people believe that bottled water is healthier than tap water. However, 90% of bottled water contains plastic particles.
How big are they?
Some of them are larger than the width of a human hair.
Is bottled water tested as carefully as tap water?
Bottled water is not tested as carefully as tap water, which has to be clean enough for all our homes.
Thank you.
Thank you to Johannes and Kare. Now over to Eche and Yuri at the recycling bins.
Hello, can I ask you something? Do you normally put plastic bottles into the recycling bins? Yes, of course, but why just that? And what is the problem of putting plastic bottles into recycling bins? Because even though people put plastic bottles into the recycling bins, more than half of them goes into the oceans. Oh really? Then I was doing the wrong thing. No, you were doing the right thing, but it's not enough to save the environment. And what do I need to do? I've got a solution. We can drink tap water rather than bottled water. What a great idea. We can drink tap water to save the environment. I'm going to drink tap water rather than expensive bottled water. Why? Because bottled water costs 500 to 1,000 times more than tap water. In addition, if you drink tap water, you can stay hydrated for a whole year with 1 pound. I didn't know that. Yes, it's true. Moreover, it's bad for the environment. Then what do we need to do? You need to stop selling bottled water.
Thank you to Eche and Yuri. Earlier I spoke to Sebastian about advertising.
Hello everyone. Today I'm here to ask some questions to our special guest Sebastian, who is the bottled water advertising researcher. Firstly, how do companies advertise their bottled water?
The companies advertise the bottled water as youthful, mountain spring water, or mineral water.
But is it really true?
No, not really. In fact, all the water hydrates us and keeps us looking good.
Is it really mountain spring water?
People think that bottled water is fresher than tap water and may come from mountain spring. However, we know that some of the companies fill their plastic bottles with tap water.
Thank you to Jonhan and Sebastian. Now over to Chinyao and Theo at the restaurant.
Hi, can I have bottled water, please?
And can I have tap water, please?
Okay. Why did you take tap water? Bottled water is way fresher than tap water.
Because tap water and bottled water taste the same. In addition, it has been proven that many people prefer tap water than the expensive bottles.
Oh really? Then can I taste the tap water?
Sure.
Oh, thank you.
Here's your tap water.
Thank you.
And here's your bottled water.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Okay. You're right. There's no difference in taste. Next time I will order tap water.
Yes. Thank you, Jingwei and Theo. In conclusion, following that, we don't even know what companies put in the bottles.
In addition, it costs 500 to 1,000 times more than tap water.
Have you changed your mind? Help us change the world to a better place by drinking tap water.
That's all from BSB News for today. Thank you for watching.
Well, hello, welcome to the LitFilmFest showcase. Tell us who you are and what you've done.
My name is Subhama Amakre and I'm in 6th grade of the Riverbank School.
Good morning. My name is Farmade Agbolan. I'm in year 6. I'm in the Riverbank School team. I do swimming, athletics, and football. So it's also important for me to eat healthy.
So, Alamedi, tell me, where is the Riverbank School? Where are you in the world?
You find us in Victoria Island, Oniru, Lagos State.
Sounds wonderful. Sounds like a wonderful place.
It is a wonderful place, I tell you. Whenever you come to Nigeria, you should visit the Riverbank School.
Oh, well, if there's an invitation, I'll come. I'll come. You can cook me a nice healthy meal.
Yes. A local one this time around.
So what did you do together? We did a project together, didn't we? What was that?
The project we did together was that we made a healthy food for the lionesses.
Why is that important? Why is it important to eat healthily for sport?
It's important because it makes you grow stronger and it accommodates with how much sports you're playing. It makes you stronger in that activity that you're doing.
I think eating healthily is important because it is a part of getting in shape, and it's very vital for growing children like us.
Absolutely. Keeps your body strong, but also your mind as well, doesn't it? So helps you with sports like football and the Lioness Lunch, but also helps you learn and helps you stay awake and keeps you so you can really focus. Alamedi, why did you think it was a really important thing to teach in the classroom, eating healthily?
Here at the Riverbank School, I told you it's a family school. We have a very thriving football team. We were very interested in sport at that time because we had a vision of participating in some competitions outside Nigeria. So it was a good one, and it was a good way for us in the English department to collaborate with the sports department and the library department and the science department. And it was a great one. So I just chose it because I know that I'll be able to feature the children in the classroom doing the writing and on the field. And I'll get more children, more boys that are interested in the sport to do the LitFilm Lioness Lunch with me. And like I said, I had to collaborate. I chose the recipe that we don't normally eat at the Riverbank School, Indian chicken, protein chicken pot. We have an Asian as a member of staff. She's from India. So I went to her and I collaborated with her, getting the ingredients, buying, mixing the tzatziki sauce. So I learned too during the process, and that's why I chose that particular project.
Alamedi, did you see the children enjoying the writing as well as the filming?
Yes, the children really enjoyed using the resources. So it was easy for us to just adopt the program. And we enjoyed it across the classroom. It was a whole school project. And every teacher bought into the idea of using the project.
Fantastic. Did you all enjoy watching the film afterwards as well? What did you all think when you saw it for the first time?
I was very excited and I was proud of what all of us had made together because it was a true team effort.
When I first saw the video during the Thursday assembly, I thought that we had all tried our very best to get it in the best way we could.
It makes you very proud, doesn't it, to see you and your classmates on the screen at the same time. It's really nice to see that. Yeah. What did the school think when they saw it as well? Did they enjoy? Did you watch it all together? Did you share it online?
We watched it all together. We have assemblies every Thursday. We go into a big hall where we invite parents. So on that day, we invited a lot of parents because there was a buzz about the LitFilmFest. So we had our parents in there, we had the children, we had the little children of 2-year-olds were there with us too. So, and then we dimmed the lights, there was an intro, and then we reviewed the movie we had done, and it was fantastic. Everybody kept on clapping and applauding us at the end. And I must tell you, each class had their video. We could only submit one entry to the LitFilmFest, but we had more than one entry. So we took that and put it on our YouTube channel, and on our Instagram page, and people kept on viewing it.
That's fantastic. Well, what we're going to do now is show a bit in our show reel. Thank you all so much for joining me. The Riverbank School sounds like a wonderful... I'd want to go there as a child. Absolutely. I want to come and learn. You'll have to come and teach me one day. Thank you so much for doing such a good job with the LitFilmFest Lioness Lunch Project.
Thank you for the opportunity.
It's been lovely to speak to you.
Hello and welcome to the Riverbank School. We are here to take on the Lioness Literacy Challenge. We will be making a healthy, nutritious, and portable lunch for the lionesses.
Yummy! We chose a recipe called Indian spiced chicken protein pots. Here are the ingredients: Indian spiced lentils, cherry tomatoes, skinless chicken breast, coriander, and tzatziki. First, pour some lentils out gently into a bowl. Then, microwave on high for 1 minute. Leave to cool, then pour into 2 large lunch pots.
Lentils. Lentils are low in fat but rich in iron and folate, so it is an excellent source of protein.
Cut the cherry tomatoes carefully into quarters. Cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes give protein and vitamin C. Generously add the chopped chicken pieces and coriander.
Chicken is a great source of lean, low-fat protein, which helps in muscle growth and development. It is also good for the heart.
Coriander, also called cilantro, is a wonderful source of dietary fiber, iron, and magnesium. It will protect the brain and support the vision of the lionesses with vitamin A, also rich in vitamin C and K. Next, scoop the tzatziki onto it.
Tzatziki. Tzatziki contains protein, fiber, and carbohydrates.
Finally, seal tightly until you are ready to eat.
This snack will give the lionesses the energy they need to be football legends. I'm being joined live by one of the lionesses. What could you possibly say?
Yes, to make the challenge, though you will have to be aggressive and tactical.
Thanks for watching Lioness Lunch. Bye!
Our next video that we've got coming up is from a school in Romania, and here they are joining with us. We have the teacher, Karen. Give us a hello, Karen.
Hi.
And we've got 2 of the students who are involved in making it. It's Ben.
Hello.
Hello, Ben, and Jessica.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy days to talk to us, because we're going to be watching your film, which you made last year, all about why I play. So, Ben, could you start us off and tell us a little bit about what you did during this project?
During the process, we had to decide what the topic would be, and we settled one as why we play, because that was something in common we had. So then, we just wrote a script that we all made, and then we filmed it and I edited it, then we showed it in assembly, and then we obviously, I think after we showed it in our school assembly, we posted it for the LitFilmFest.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
And so you were part of a big competition, weren't you, that we ran, and you sent the video in, and there was lots of schools doing that from all over the world. And we were very impressed with your entry. Jessica, what can you remember about that process as well? What was it challenging? Was it difficult to kind of write a poem, or was it was it fun and exciting?
It was kind of difficult.
Yeah.
It was difficult at first to write it because we had to think a lot and we learned new things in the process. But also, once we started to learn, it was super fun working with all my friends, and it was just amazing.
Oh, that's really good to hear. Karen, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about your experience teaching the children through this project. So what was that process like for you?
It was something quite new to me. I've used technology in literacy in the past as literacy leader. It's something I try to involve as much as possible, but the process of giving it over to the children and children across the whole key stage, not from just one classroom, was interesting for me to see the different levels, getting them together to brainstorm ideas and to work together and support each other. But knowing they had that end goal kind of gave them that motivation, I think. So it was easy for me to let it go to them, knowing that they had a goal to reach towards together. Yeah, it was motivating for me as well. It was interesting.
Good. I think it's always good to have a purpose in the end, isn't it? Because otherwise, why are we writing? Well, there's got to be a reason to write, hasn't there, guys? There's got to be a purpose behind it. Otherwise, it feels a bit pointless. And that definitely came through in your video, that you really engaged with the writing, and that then you really enjoyed the acting and like you say, then the kind of editing as well, and putting all that together. And it was a really great product that you were able to then share. Karen, when it comes to working in your school, how do you feel this project helped to maintain sort of high standards for the students and really push them?
I think the high standards is something we always have in mind anyway. We're quite a high achieving school in the first place, even without the technology side of things. But I think as far as it's the purpose side of it that made it more realistic for them, made them reach higher, I think. I've got to be honest and say we've not done another one since that. It's something we like to try and do more, but it's trying to find a way to combine that with the curriculum restraints that we have. That's the hardest part, is to put it all in together. And it's something that I would like to try and investigate a little bit further in the future. But as far as reaching standards, I think the standard of work that came out of this was much higher than I expected it was going to be. So it definitely was beneficial in that way.
That's great. And just a few things to finish off then before we watch your film with everyone else. Guys, do you have any memories which you can think of as you were filming or as you were watching? What are your best memories from that experience of making the film?
In the making time, I remember when I filmed it. I mean, when the first time, I think it was maybe second lesson, when we were trying to find the right camera angles we can film at. And I remember finding a good camera angle. That's like one bit I remember, finding my favorite camera angle.
A very satisfying memory. Oh, that's good. And Jessica, do you have anything to finish us off?
I remember, so for the whole rapper group thing, me and my friends, we made a whole song. That bit was super fun because, I don't know, I just loved using my imagination and just helped.
Great, thank you. Well, we'll have a look out for that rapper bit now as we join everyone watching your video. So let's play this video, Why I Play, from the British School of Bucharest.
Today I went out and about. Why did I go out, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. It was like this. I was really bored, like really bored. And so I went out to play. There were no friends around, not one. 5 o'clock. Nobody came. I'm tired. I was fed up of being bored. My friends never came out to play. They didn't know what they were missing, so I decided to show them.
I was bored,
So I ran like Indiana Jones. My heart was pounding like a cheetah's feet on the ground. Thump, thump, thump. I found the golden idol. Yay, whoopee! Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. But then, leaves crackle, snap, boom, crush. I caught a big shadow behind the tree. Aha! A man with dark sunglasses. He looked like a sketchy dude. Was he a spy? Well, my friends certainly didn't know. They never came out to play. They didn't know what they were missing, so I decided to show them. Oh, never mind. Who cares about that spy? He's sure to wander off sooner or later. I hope.
But what was that? A great big dojo right before my eyes. How grand it looks. I must go inside to get a proper look. So I jumped off walls and bounced through the air, like a ninja warrior. I was as fast as lightning, quiet as a mouse. Who dares to interfere with the great dark knight ninja? But then, the door creaked open. I heard it slam shut. Boom! I caught a shimmer of the samurai sword he was holding. Aha! Yeah! I screamed. He's coming straight for me. I used my great ninja skills. I dodged and dashed for the exit. Phew, I overran him. What great luck. He wasn't a spy. Was he a fierce ninja? Well, my friends certainly didn't know. They never came out to play. They didn't know what they were missing, so I decided to show them. Oh, never mind. Who cares about the ninja? He's sure to wander off sooner or later, I hope.
This time, I'm not taking any chances. I'm not pretending anymore. But maybe, just maybe, I can have another go. Being a pop star surely wouldn't hurt. I auditioned to be in a famous rap group. And guess what? Oh boy, I made it! Together, we are the Big Bad Three. Winning any contest is easy enough. We can sing, rap, dance, and do anything, 'cause we are the Big Bad Three. Once there was a man living over the hill. He was weird and his name was Bill. He had a big house and he had a big log and he had a very big dog. Yeah. Oh, I loved being admired by thousands of followers. It felt so awesome being famous too. But then, the chord snapped in half. The music had stopped. My fellow singers started to fade, and the room turned dark. Aha! I caught a glimpse of dust on an outline of a body, and he's coming straight for me. Ah! I screamed, sprinting across the dance floor, my microphone behind me.
This time, I'm not taking any chances. I'm not pretending anymore. But maybe, just maybe, I can have another go. Well, being a werewolf surely wouldn't hurt. Woo! In the moonlight, I was a foul and fearless furry fiend, out for a midnight snack. Silently, I padded through the weary woods. My mouth was watering for a sweet treat. But then, footsteps were getting closer. Heaving smelly breath behind me, fear creeping in my bones. Then...
Dad, what are you doing here? You scared me.
Better question, what are you doing here? Your friends have been knocking for more than an hour.
But... Okay, I'm coming. I'm really lucky to have my friends when I need them. But you can't always rely on friends to be what you expect or how you want them to be. My imagination is timeless. My imagination can take me wherever I want, and I can be who I want to be. There are no better friends than my imagination and me.
So for our next film, we have a film that was created by the children and teachers at the GEMS Jumeriah Primary School in Dubai. And here we have with us Mrs. Jane. Hello.
Hello.
And we have Nazaria.
Hi.
And we have Zainab.
Hello.
Hello, thank you so much, all of you, for coming on to introduce your film that we're going to watch now. So it was last year that you created this brilliant poem on the Why I Play project, wasn't it? And you sent it in to us as part of the big competition with the COBIS schools that we ran. Mrs. Jane, can you tell us a little bit about how the children responded to this in the classroom and what it was like to sort of be part of this competition?
So we are a COBIS school, and we do enjoy all the competitions that come our way through COBIS. And when I first read the guidelines for this project, I was working with these children in small group lessons, and it seemed perfect because in class they were learning poetry, and this whole component was about poetry, but a different aspect of poetry writing and catering to performance poetry. And I thought that would be something the children will enjoy, because when you're writing to write, it is different word choices and a different component rather when you're writing to perform.
Yeah.
And so that brought a very nice twist to our lessons.
Was her prediction right that you would enjoy that kind of the performance side and the not just writing so it stays on the page, but writing for a purpose and so that you're going to perform it?
I think the performance was really good, as it makes it actually much more memorable to the person who watches the video
Yes.
than reading the poem.
Yeah. Nazara, what's your kind of best memories of going through that process? What did you enjoy?
I really enjoyed that we could, just make our own actions, and we could make our own poem. So, and it would flow together, and we could rehearse it together.
Yeah. So it required quite a lot of teamwork, and sort of it was very personal to what you wanted to write about. I think that's quite important, isn't it? That you have your own voice and your own ideas. They're coming out strongly in the video. How do projects like this LitFilmFest project, how does it help improve standards in writing?
I think it was good for us to look at writing with a different perspective, because we do talk about using similes and metaphors and personifications, but when you actually write knowing that you might have to perform this, then you give it more thought, because you're going to then sort of up-level your own writing processes to get the right words on paper. So yes, I think it really helped with the literacy aspect of it as well.
Thank you ever so much for coming on and giving us some time this afternoon. We are going to sit back now and we're going to watch the Why I Play poem from the Jumeriah Primary School all the way from Dubai. Thank you ever so much, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you for inviting us.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Why I play. Every day because I like to say hooray. Tracy with her tennis racket whirling it around almost hit running Ronnie with a noisy sound. Why I play every day because I like to say hooray.
The ball hit the racket at the speed of light. I hit it with all my might. Boom, thwack, bang. The ball sped across the court. It whacked juggling Jeffs and fell to the floor. Why I play every day because I like to say hooray. Why I play every day, especially running in all of May. Let the track be a field of daisies. Let the crowd be a lake of flamingos. Let the flag be a branch on the tree as we run so wild and free.
Whiz whoosh, we sped along the track. Instead of being painted red, the track had been painted black. The curious crowd cheered comfortingly. The referee's flag waved furiously. We ran as fast as we could. You should have seen the way the crowd stood.
Oh no, my friend is hurt. How did that occur? The flamingos flew her to hospital, where she shouted, "Ow!" Wow, she's all better now.
The race had finished. I had won. I shook another player's hand. We celebrated by having Cinnabon.
Why I play every day, especially cricket in all of May. The batsman strikes in, the crowd gives a cheer. Mohammed Amir bowls without fear. Kabir is near, and he shivers with fear, but swings the bat like an agile deer. Bam! Our team has won.
Zap! The players take a victory run. Why I play every day, especially on obstacle courses in all of May. Balancing beams, tangle nets and hardwood and planks as big as tanks. Swing across nets as fast as you can get, balancing on a beam which was it really? Why I play, I get worked up, sweaty, energetic and excited every day. Woohoo!
For our next film, we have a few people all the way from the Czech Republic. So we've got Kate, who is the teacher. Hello. And we've got Thomas and Lily. Hello. And thank you ever so much for coming on. You're going to be introducing this film, which you made last year, and it's from the Wire Play project. Would you like to tell me a little bit about how did this film come about?
So we started writing lines of the poems, everybody from the class, and then we combined them together so it can make sense. Mm-hmm. And then we started to practice, and then we did the video.
The combining of the lines was quite hard.
Yeah. What was that process like for you, Kate, teaching through that project and sort of getting the children to write for creating a film?
Mm-hmm. It was for the first time since we have done such a wonderful thing to collaborate with you guys and to do literacy in an exciting way through video. It was at first quite challenging for me to think in that way, how creatively I can push it with the kids. But once I saw the engagement level and once I saw the independency, and as you mentioned, the collaborative, it was a fantastic experience. And after that first try, we have decided definitely every year to take part in this project.
Fantastic. Oh,
yes.
That's great. Yeah, well, it's really great, and it shows in the video how engaged the children were and how much they've clearly enjoyed being part of making a film. I think it makes a real difference, doesn't it? If there's a very clear output. Which bits of this film that we're going to watch now should we look out for, Thomas and Lily? Which bits were you in?
I was with my friend, and we were doing the drawing part.
Okay, so we should look out for that. Yeah, and what about you, Thomas? What's coming up with you in it?
I was outside, there was the snow and...
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so we should look out for that bit with Thomas and Lily in especially. Thank you all so much for calling in all the way from the Czech Republic. And it's the International School Olomouc.
Yes.
Just to make sure we get that name in, which I knew I was going to have difficulty pronouncing. So let's sit back and watch their film, Why I Play. Enjoy.
Thank you.
We play all day. We scribbled and giggled when we were kids. The noises we've made, snap, clap, rap, were just terrible. Drawing is boring. Wait, boring is really drawing. It made us super angry when we are drawing. We feel nervous. It turns out to be a mess. Instead of drawing, we are diving and doing a double backflip. Person Ocean Monster Boomster came out and kicked us. We flew wee when he blew. Swoosh! Splash! Ouch! That's gonna leave a rash. I think that's enough, cause it was rough, and skiing is easy like lemon squeezy.
When you read a book, we say blah, blah, blah.
But when we do skiing, we say Ikoyi! Yay!
Skiing makes us feel cheerful, even though we are fearful.
Well, we got angry while we were skiing.
We need to really quickly start thinking what shall we sing.
We are like birds, especially Igor, singing his solo again and again from beginning to end.
Unfortunately, our dads were fired because their bosses were tired of our
naughty behavior.
I'm joined with GES. Hello.
Hello.
Would you like to tell me a bit about what you did with us last year?
Do you want me to start off? Yeah. Sure. So we followed the unit on Why I Play for the COBIS competition, and what attracted me was I was looking at poetry. I always find poetry quite hard to teach, especially performance poetry. And so when that unit came along, I thought, oh, okay, this could work, and something new to try. And we gave it a go. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And you're based in Switzerland as well. That's where you are.
That's right.
Yes, School of Switzerland. Looks like a lovely place. Would you like to tell me what you both thought about, writing your own poems, about your games? Tell us what you wrote about, and also what you thought to the video afterwards.
Do you want to start? Sure. I love writing because it let me just unleash all of the stuff that I had been doing during the playtime with all my friends and everything. And to make that into like a big video was really nice, because we all got to play our parts and we all got to make this big old thing.
Yeah, I agree with him, because normally it would be the teachers teaching, but it was kind of like, because we decided and we kind of decided what to do, and and so it was like we got also to be we got to do it too, so it was good. Yeah.
So you were the directors as well as the script.
Yeah, we did the words, and then we thought, what should we do, what do we do in playtime? Oh well, we do this, and then
Fantastic.
I was going to say, we decided to focus on seasons, as our school is in Switzerland, so the seasons are really contrasting. We have beautiful winters, with snow and the mountain. You can actually see Mont Blanc from our grounds, right. And then in the summer it's blue sky and sunshine. So as we talked about play, there was there were themes coming out. And so that's why it's split into seasonal groups.
Fantastic. Yeah, and that's a nice way to reflect on both seasons and play within those seasons, because the play does change, doesn't it?
It does.
You can't play football on a snowy pitch, can you? Have you tried?
You can get a big snowball. You can make like a snowball.
Yeah, you could try that.
Just up Mont Blanc. Yeah. Well, why do you think poetry is obviously important for expressing yourself, isn't it? But why do you think it was important to write something about poetry and to perform it as well?
I mean, when we read poetry, most of the time for me, it's a lot like reading a book. But when you write poetry, it's less like writing a book and more like writing this completely different thing where you have new limits but new reaches. You can create anything you want, but nothing.
And for me, honestly, when I was very young, I thought poetry was quite boring, but as I grew up, it became more fun because we learned it in different ways, and we learned how to perform it like we did now, and it just became more and more fun, and now I just love it. So yeah.
Fantastic. It's nice to see that. I can see you're both very passionate about poetry and playing. Poetry and play, that'll be the next project. As a teacher, why do you think poetry performance is important? You were just saying how you wanted something that focused on poetry performance.
Well, I think it's confidence building, and as we've just said, the children really led their own performances as well, which as a teacher was quite scary, because I had to let go a little bit and not be in control and just say, okay, go with it and not be too directive. But it was just, it was it was lovely to see children who may be a bit shy come out of their shells a bit, to work as a group. It was kind of help them with their confidence instead of solo in front of the class. It was a little bit of team building really going on, as well as the English side of it. It was very collaborative. So it was really nice. Yeah, good project.
And it looked really well rehearsed as well, because you all had to know where to move and run to, and like the camera was moving. I'm really impressed with how the camera moved, and you had to often move with it, didn't you? Was that something you spent a lot of time on, like working out where you're running to and when you're saying something to the camera?
Yeah. We had it took not too
loads
long,
and loads,
but
maybe
a couple of tries.
Yeah.
I have a talented colleague who did the filming, to be honest. So but I think it was all on an iPad.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
It's amazing what you can make actually with a simple bit of technology, isn't it?
Yeah.
And as a teacher, Mrs. White, do you see a difference in the children's attitude for writing for filmmaking? Is that something that engaged them in the classroom?
It did, absolutely. And I think the fact that it was a competition as well engaged us all. And I remember saying to them at the start, actually, I don't know if you remember this, guys, I said, we're in it to win it. I'm super competitive. And so when we did, I was absolutely floored. Of course, I was just saying that, but it raised our game, I think, to have a competition, and also it raised our game because it was very exciting to have a film and to play it in front of all the school at the end. It was really, really nice, wasn't it? Felt really, really special.
How about you, parents? What did the community think of that?
I think really delighted, and I mean, our certificate is in Pride of Place in the school foyer and all of that. So really, really thrilled, and colleagues as well were really patting me on the back, and so it was nice.
Well, we need to say well done again. This time in person. It's nice. It's nice to meet, isn't it? Nice to meet. Because you all work so hard on that, from your writing to your teamwork to your teaching and to your production as well. So LitFilmFest says well done to all of you, and we're more than happy to showcase you today. Shall we watch what you've created?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, lovely.
Let's play it.
YGS plays. At playtime, when the bell goes, typing across, shouting out like a massive herd of rhinos. We crowd around the door, pushing and shoving to get out first. We dart around like electric beams.
Playing tag. You're it.
We feel energized.
At playtime, when the bell goes,
we go wild and run free in the warm breeze of summer. We do spinning cartwheels and handstands, as straight as a stick.
When the sun is shining, we roll down the hill,
laughing and giggling as loud as a lion,
thinking we're never going to stop.
But somehow, you always do.
We feel dizzy,
joyful,
and high in the sky.
At playtime, when the bell goes, we rush out to play like a stampede of elephants. We make a gigantic pile of families
and jump-ins.
We find the nearest tree and sprint around it.
A leaf, I caught it. Make a way. Whoosh goes the wind as it blows the leaf away.
Yay! We love playing with our friends.
At playtime, when the bell goes, we wrap up forming coats and hats and sprint outside.
Catching snowflakes on the tip of our tongues. Like the playground.
Be our battlefield.
We start a snowball fight.
Bang, boom, shabam.
Oh no, the teacher's coming. No lunch for you, misters.
We feel oh so nervous.
At playtime, when the bell goes,
Chitter chatter, friendly natter, lots to say.
Yippee! We pass the ball. Whoosh!
He shoots.
Go!
Well, that was simply great to see all of those different films and to speak to all of those different people across the world. We had a bit of a shuffling about with time zones to get all those interviews in, which was fun. But yeah, just such a range of nationalities and such a range of ideas and projects as well. And so it's just great to see all that come together there.
And also that, you know, all the media that you saw there, that we all saw together, has been put together in so many different ways. But it starts in quite a simple, it can start in quite a simple place, but like such as the Adobe. And it's so nice to have seen such an array of different films as well for this showcase, which has been just wonderful. It can start from a very simple place, like the Adobe Spark app that we've been suggesting people use. But that actually has quite a professional looking output. But that actually has a really professional looking output. Even though it's very simple to put images and photos and icons and voiceover together. So it's just lovely to celebrate that creativity across different parts of the world.
Yeah. And also that it's been shared on YouTube, and that YouTube has supported those schools in allowing their media to be shared with a wider audience, and for children that's really important, isn't it, knowing that their message is being valued by or seen by lots of people can be really motivating. And I think we'll see a lot of those children feeling motivated and wanting to do more literacy because of the output that they've seen shared.
Yeah, and on that, as a separate way of really bringing people together is by holding your own LitFilmFest as well, where you come together and socially distance. No. Where people come together and they hold their own LitFilmFest assembly to celebrate the different media that they've created across different year groups.
Yeah.
But of course now this can be done online as well. We're adding a lot of support to share content online in a safe way, from home projects to actually helping schools to make their own media and share that, so they can shout out about the amazing educational opportunities that they're giving their children.
Yeah. So if you are interested in running LitFilmFest projects at your school, then do get in touch with us. You can go to the website which is litfilmfest.com, or you can email info@litfilmfest.com if you're interested in running a LitFilmFest event at your school in the coming year. Anything else from you, Tim?
No, that's it. I'm done.
No, we're done. That's all we've got time for. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.